If you could bring back one thing from the past, what would it be? We're talking an idea, a habit, the way people lived, maybe an invention that's kind of gone away. Anything that you might have grown up with, or even before your time, that you find that might be beneficial to society, what would you bring back? All right, guys, welcome back to the Cigars and Coffee channel. And I kind of wanted to do this video in response to my previous video, what's one thing you would ban? Kind of the opposite idea of what would be one thing you want to bring back for a societal element in today's world. Like I said, it could be an invention, whatever. I think this will be another fun, engaging video that gets people talking and thinking and reminiscing and, you know, potentially looking back with nostalgia and rose-colored glasses. And by the way, I'm drinking a Colombian blend coffee, my go-to fave, and this is a Macanudo White Cigarello. So a couple that I have that I think would be nice to bring back would be real conversations. You know, I think that's unfortunately kind of going away with technology and the fact that people just are so into their phones, like we've talked about before. Nobody's looking up, nobody's talking, especially with a stranger. But I mean, sadly, even with your friends and stuff, a lot of times there won't even be a good conversation happening. I'm not saying that's always the case, but definitely a good majority. Not as much going to social outings and not as much going to coffee shops and having real conversations, cigar lounges. That's one of the reasons why I kind of wanted to create this channel with Cigars and Coffee. That's two things that you can do socially within your friend group or whoever, even if you go out in public and talk and discuss things. Just kind of something I've noticed, you know, throughout the years. People kind of go out of their way to avoid you. You know, if you live in an apartment complex, people, you know, will just look down and do anything but even, you know, say hi and have a nice, polite conversation. If you're at the grocery store or at a park or something. And it sucks nowadays because it even makes you feel like if you want to be that person to talk and have that conversation, you know, in today's society, it almost makes you feel like a weirdo or, you know, a creep or just uncomfortable to have that talk. And I guess that's part of the problem, and we just need to blow past that and just, you know, if you want to say something to somebody, just say it, and it is what it is. I think another big one, probably my biggest one, would be privacy. I feel like there's no such thing as privacy in today's society anymore. Everybody knows everything about you, your whole life, your whole identity profile is online. There's everything that you have to do or have to sign up for. They want all this information about you. And you can't opt out of it. You can't change it. You can't do this or that because they're taking all that privacy and that information from you because, of course, they want as much of your data as possible to then put it into their database and sell it to brokers because that's like one of the top resources now is data and the other one's attention. And obviously that's a lot of, you know, our fault is we put a lot of that out ourselves on our own social media accounts and try to blast everything and share as much as possible. Some people share a little too much, in my opinion, and that can be fine, but there's just still really no sense of privacy anymore. And that's really kind of a bummer. And going off the privacy thing, I think that really almost kind of hurts young people in a way, that there's no privacy because it makes them nervous to do anything and really be themselves or be a kid or a teenager, you know, part of that experience is, you know, embarrassing situations, you know, you doing something stupid and silly and funny. But that's part of, you know, being a human and growing up. But a lot of kids don't want to do that now because everything's recorded. And that's why there's no, you know, like dancing anymore. And if there is a scene at a club or something like that, or a dance party, everybody's just kind of sitting around doing this because they're embarrassed to go out there because somebody's going to record them. Even if they're having fun and having a good time, they're going to be recorded, it's going to be uploaded, and then everybody's going to see it, and then everybody's going to rip them in the comments like they're all professional dancers or something. That's just one example of, you know, kind of how it's a bummer that the younger generation won't get to experience that freeness because everything is recorded now. And even uploading pictures, even, you know, I think there was something special in the day of you used to have your family photo album. That would be a special thing. The photos would actually be printed out instead of blast on social media everywhere. And, you know, it would be in between your family. You know, maybe you would show some friends or whatever, but it would be your very close circle. Now everybody can see those pictures. You know, you can even Google somebody's name and some Facebook pictures will pop up. So literally anybody could be in your little social circle. So it's just kind of weird. And another thing I would say that is kind of missed in today's society, which I know I miss, is it doesn't really seem like there's any like big get-togethers anymore, or block parties, or, you know, like barn raising, stuff like that. You know, like I feel like even when I was younger, there would be, you know, hey, I'm building a deck or a barn, you know, how about everybody come over, help me out for the weekend, and, you know, we'll have some food, and, you know, we'll be working, but it will be a good time, and everybody rallies together. Or, you know, there'll be a big barbecue for your neighborhood or the block party. It just kind of seems like those things have gone away. And I think it's due to part to everybody's kind of in their own world nowadays, and nobody really cares to go out and help people as much. You know, they're too busy, and the fact that there's not really any boredom anymore is kind of an interesting topic. And you can tie all this back together with is, you know, maybe back then on the weekends or whatever, you'd be like, yeah, of course I'll go, you know, help you build your barn, or go enjoy the, you know, weekend barbecue with you. That sounds fun. Because I got nothing to do, you know, why not? But nowadays it's like, okay, well, I got a million choices of video games to play. I have a million shows and movies to watch in the palm of my hand. I got social media on my phone to look at. I have drama to go be about. So I think there's just way too many things keeping us distracted to really enjoy good human experiences that we're missing out on, unfortunately. So guys, I want to know what you have to say. What do you miss? What do you reminisce on? What do you think would be beneficial in today's society that we kind of don't have anymore? Is it kind of just a nostalgia thing, and we're looking through the past with rose-colored glasses on the past was better just because that's easy to do? Or was it, you know, is there an actual valid reason there? And there was some positive things that we miss in today's society, unfortunately. So definitely drop a comment, let me know, get the discussion flowing, put on your good old day caps, and let me know what you got to say, because you know, the last video had some really interesting comments, and you guys had some good suggestions. So I'll be looking forward to what you guys say in this one. So thanks for watching Cigars and Coffee, and stay tuned to the next one. Thanks, guys.